guys, I'm going to show you the most important thing that you should know before choosing any protein for your food. My name is Dr. Becky. I'm a food scientist and I make food education videos. Let's get to it. You see, the proteins that you get from an egg is not the same as the proteins that you get from beans, because all proteins are not created equal. In this video, I'm going to tell you why that is so, and also how to combine the right proteins for your food and for good health. Let's start from the basics. Let's take this as our protein. So proteins are made up of building blocks that we call amino acids. And you can see there are different amino acids that can be combined in different fashions to form a protein. So with amino acids, we have generally 20 amino acids. Out of that 20, 11 of those amino acids are called non-essential amino acids. This is because those 11 amino acids can be produced or synthesized by our bodies. 9 of those amino acids are called essential amino acids because our body cannot produce or synthesize those proteins. So we have to get those proteins from another source. We have to get them from our food, and it is very important for us to get those proteins because without those proteins we can have some deficiencies. So what are the 9 essential amino acids? I am going to mention some very funny sounding names, but they are very important. So the 9 essential amino acids are called histidine, isoleucine, leucine, lysine, methionine, phenylalanine, threonine, tryptophan, and valine. Aren't they sounding funny? So guys, these are our essential amino acids. We need to get these amino acids from a food source into our bodies. The reason why these amino acids are so important is because most of them help our bodies to produce hormones. They help with our metabolism, which is very important. When a food source contains all these essential amino acids, we call that food a complete protein. So already you can see that all the foods will not be equal, right? There are some foods that we call complete proteins and there are ones that we call incomplete proteins. What are the examples of complete proteins? The general examples of complete proteins are mostly the animal-based products or animal proteins. Example, we have meat, we have chicken, beef, eggs. Those are complete proteins. We have some few plant proteins that are also complete proteins like soy. Now stay with me. This is where it even gets more interesting. By the way, if you find value in my videos, remember to like the video and subscribe so that the YouTube algorithm can recommend it to more people to watch. If your main protein source is plant protein, then you have to be very careful because most plant proteins are not complete proteins. But you see, here is where it even gets more interesting. The good news is that the amino acids that you might not find in one plant protein, you would find in another type of plant protein. This is why if you're a vegetarian or you rely solely on plants for your protein source, you have to know what you are doing. You have to have me as your friend. I am going to show you the types of plant proteins that you can combine so that you can have a complete protein in your diet. Here is a cheat sheet that we created for you to help you decide on the foods that you should always eat together. For example, when you are eating grains, and all grains or most grains except quinoa, most grains are low in lysine or threonine. And you remember those are some of our essential amino acids. They don't have a lot of that. So when you're eating those grains, you should combine the grains or cereals with legumes because most legumes would have enough of the lysine. However, the legumes are also deficient in methionine, but the grains will have the methionine. So it is very important that when you're eating rice, for example, you should add beans. rice and beans would make good complementary foods, and it would give you that complete protein that you need. Another thing is, if you are eating nuts or seeds, you should remember that those nuts could also be low in lysine, so combine them with legumes that will be high in lysine, and you can have a good complementary food over there. My last tip for you, if you eat a lot of plant-based protein, is that you have to remember that most plant-based proteins do not have a very high digestibility. They can't readily supply that protein to the body, unlike animal-based proteins that can easily give that protein to the body. So when you're eating plant-based proteins, you have to eat a little bit more, like about 20% more than you would have eaten if you were eating animal-based proteins, so that you make sure that you can give your body the chance to absorb enough of the protein for your good health. If you've been with me up to this point, I really appreciate it. Remember to like and subscribe. Also, tell me in the comment section where you are watching us from, so that we can send you a special shout out in our next video. And also we can tell you one popular food that is in your area that you should try. And if you enjoyed this video, you are going to enjoy these other videos. I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.